Hello everybody, welcome to another episode of Dark Souls, The Tale of Artorias with his black hole shield and what that. Alright, so last time we killed Gravelord Nito and we took a trip over to the Undead Asylum. Now, I think we'll take out... Who should we take out? Take out Seath, we can take out... Let's go do Lost Izalith. Sure, let's go Daughters of Chaos. I'm sure you guys want to hear more about Dark Souls 2. I noticed my views went up a bit for this season, probably because I'm talking about Dark Souls 2, and everyone's so hyped for Dark Souls 2. Or who knows, maybe people are starting to like my commentary more and more people are discovering it. That's what I'm gonna hope it is. Because that sounds like something that would make me happy. But, yeah. Hopefully there's some really fun covenants in Dark Souls 2. I mean, obviously there's going to be like a Dark Wraith Covenant. That's just, we know that's going to happen. There's probably going to be, yeah, and there's like Covenant of Blue we already know about. Probably going to be another co-op based Covenant like the Sunlight Warriors. I hope that they don't have any Covenants that are like, you have to stay in this Covenant to use these spells. Maybe Covenants that you join and you get spells from them. But I always hated that in Dark Souls. There was a lot of Covenants where it's like, okay, if you wanted these miracles, you have to, stay in this Covenant to use Darkling Blade, or you have to stay in this Covenant, or otherwise the Great Gravelord Gravesword Dance, whatever it's called, would suck, because I don't know if people realize this, but the Gravelord Greatsword Dance would be better if you were still in the Covenant and you had a higher rank, and it would actually, not only would it not get buffed if you weren't in the Covenant, it would debuff. It would be a lower percentage than the base if you were not in the Covenant. It was basically useless if you weren't in it, which stunk. I mean, it was somewhat useful, but at that point you might as well have a Firestorm and just quick swap to a Pyro Glove, because it was going to be stronger. But yeah, I know a lot of people who played the beta have concerns about stun locking in Dark Souls 2. I don't think it's going to be an issue, because all we've really seen was low-level PvP. It seems like higher agility is going to prevent stun locking. It's probably going to be other armor that... I mean, a lot of the armor in Dark Souls seem to be pretty light, or in the beta. You know, with the exception of the Warrior and the Soldier, who was wearing, like, full metal armor. But the Temple Knight looked like he was mainly wearing cloth armor, but he had, like, a metal helmet. Anyway, let's see if we can just cheese this dude. Hope you brought wine, Ceaseless, because I brought the cheese. Okay. Hopefully we also don't just explode, because I'm pretty sure he likes to do that every now and then. Just slam his hand down, cause an explosion, and insta-death. That would suck. But yeah, I think next season I might start working on like oh god, the frame rate's also kind of dipping here. But I think the next season I might start working on a super high level character meant entirely for hosting, because if you're gonna host, the higher level the better. Just because people invade infinitely up, so if I was a super high level. So yeah, I might just make a really high level character that I can just cosplay anything as for these for the sake of these Dark Souls season, which would be nice. Granted, some of the fun might be taken out of it, because that'd probably be a bit OP. Well, probably really OP. I mean, if level's not an issue, I might as well level up my Vitality and Endurance up to 99. But, you know, I would be doing, like, New Game plus 7 playthroughs eventually, so... I guess having the extra health wouldn't be such a big deal. But yeah. And, you know, I'm probably getting invaded a lot more just running around like this, because, you know, if I can be invaded by anybody at a super high level, then, yeah. I wonder what the PvP cap... I'm pretty sure I already mentioned this before, but I wonder what the PvP cap's going to be for Dark Souls 2. Not cap, but, like, the recommended PvP level, because right now it's basically... There's like 3 sort of weight classes, if you will. There's like a soul level 25 or 30, and then there's like around soul level 50, and then there's soul level 100 to 120. And you know, you can push to get like 130, because some builds kind of require it. Just those extra points to get 130. But for the most part, people PvP 100 to 120 is the standard dueling PvP soul level. The lower soul levels are mainly if you want to actually do invasions. The 50s if you want to invade people who are in the late game or are in New Game Plus, and the level 25s if you just want to invade people who are on their original game. Which typically have, like, the level 25 ones are typically like Vitality / Endurance dumps, and they just use elemental weapons. Just so they stand more of a chance. Oh, I forgot Knight Kirk is going to be here. Shit. Already pissed off this guy. Oh god! That's bad. Get me out of here. I want to kill this guy before Knight Kirk causes me issues. Ow! This guy's a dick. Okay. Get on down here, Knight Kirk. Forgot about you before. Oh, I see him. Here he comes. Bring it on, Knight Kirk. Kirk the Jerk. Jerky. Kirk the Jerky Knight. Made of beef. Oh god, he tricked me out. He tried to do it again. Thought he was going to do a lower running attack, but then I remembered he's a jerk. Freaking Kirk the Jerk. Alright, moving on. But yeah, I wonder if they're gonna have another, like, Gravelord Covenant, but, you know, one that actually works in Dark Souls 2. That would be fun. To have it like a Dark Souls 2 Gravelord Covenant that actually works. Yeah. He's dead. All one big ass wombo combo. It's a wombo combo. But yeah, I can't wait for Dark Souls 2. I remember, actually, no, I've already discussed that, and it was a mouthful, so I should do it again. I've already discussed it in an earlier video. But, one thing, I'm also pretty sure I've mentioned this before, but the backstabs work a lot differently in Dark Souls 2. I mean, I'm sure everybody already knows, but to be more specific with how it works is, you know how in Dark Souls 1, just, if you're behind them and you hit the button, you're just locked in the backstab animation at that point. There's nothing he can do to get out of it. And it makes it super easy. You just immediately sprint behind somebody and instantly get a backstab. Okay, we're gonna make him come to us, because I don't like him jumping back like that. But, yeah, now in Dark Souls 2, in order for a backstab to go through, you can't just be behind them. You have to finish, like, a hilt bash animation. So they have a chance to dodge a backstab. Backstabbing, just instantly getting a backstab from being behind somebody is not possible anymore. I gotta get out of here. There. Oh, I did not get out of there enough. And that's big, actually. That fixes a lot of issues I had with the original Dark Souls PvP. You know how people like to circle around like, I'm gonna backstab you? That's not gonna work anymore. Because even if they get to that point, they'll swing for the hilt bash, even if they do get to that point, but they'll miss their hilt bash. And so they won't get the backstab. Fucking come to me. Ooh, that hurt. Fucking quit being a dick. Oh my god, he's just jumping away again. What does it do that? Aha! I hate this boss so much because he just likes to jump away from you, and then you gotta run away and let him come to you. Because if you're at like the perfect medium range distance, he'll just use like that explosion move, and you're too close to the very center of where it's gonna be to avoid it. Not this one, but the other explosion move he does. The one where he just like waves his wand, not slams it on the ground. dangerous. He's a dangerous man. Just, you know, tossing a few flips, because why not? Ah, shit. And he's dead. Well, what is it? Alright. I don't know why I bothered picking that up. I remember actually I was just goofing around. I made just like kind of a joke build, which I'm actually thinking about doing, where I'm a solo level 300 strength faith character, and I literally need exactly 99 endurance just a medium roll. 98, not enough. I'd still fat roll. This is with the ring of favor and protection and Havel's ring on. I thought that was kind of funny, so I might actually do it, which would be really funny, real funny. But you know, since I plan on maybe doing that, like, you know, I'd basically, if I did the one character where I'm just gonna just make it so I can cosplay as anything, I would get 50 faith, 50 intelligence, F resistance because it's not necessary, about 45 dexterity, 50 strength, 99 endurance, 50 attunement, and 99 vitality. Which obviously that's going to take quite a bit, so I would have to start by, if I did do it, I would start cosplaying immediately on it. You know, like I would probably start cosplaying, like, I don't know, maybe I'd pick the bandit class and I'd stick with the bandit set for the entire game. You know, I'm cosplaying a bandit, you know, all that junk, yada yada, bing bong boop. But I probably wouldn't pick the bandit because his weapon is boring. Really, really boring. The axe. That's the one thing I actually noticed. Strength weapons in Dark Souls 2. A lot of the one-handed strength weapons, or you know, the weapons that seem like they're, you know, more reasonably one-handed, like the axe and the mace and stuff like that. Those in Dark Souls 1, their skill set normally just has one swing animation and it's repeated, and they're really boring and stupid to use. That's why you never see anybody use them. They're really boring. They have one attack animation. And oftentimes their heavy attack isn't that much better than their normal attack. Like, I mean, the pickaxe, basically, that's a strength weapon. All it is like an overhead swing in front of you with the R1, and you know what the R2 is? An overhead swing in front of you. Same as the mace. And yeah, it's really boring. They're really limited skill sets. They're just not fun to use, and they suck. I mean, they don't suck because the mace is actually really light and can stun lock the hell out of people. Like even if they have some good boys, you can stun lock somebody really easily with the mace. The thing is just getting somebody to get hit by the mace, especially since if you miss, you have to, like, your guy like staggers, or not staggers, like fumbles around a bit because it's, you know, it's a heavy weapon. It throws him off balance when he misses. Oh, stop it and get over here! Holy crap! Heal up. Anyway. But yeah, a lot of the strength weapons that I've seen thus far, this isn't just my experience in the beta, this is, you know, stuff I've seen. Oh, back away. That hurt. This guy hurts a lot, just consistently. I gotta basically keep myself topped off, otherwise he'd probably one-shot me. Tried to grab me there, which really wouldn't be a big deal if he did. I usually take 0 damage from those grabs because you can spam right bumper to take to avoid the damage. And for anybody new to this going, no you don't, yes you do. I've done it on stream, I've done it on video. I actually thought he was about to grab me there and I'd have the chance to demonstrate it again. Oh god, that hurts. Keep myself topped off because it's too dangerous to not do that. Because as you've seen, this guy nearly one-shots me. But he's dead now, so nobody cares. Alright. Much as I hate to have Artorias take off his oh-so special ring, he's going to have to here. So let's get rid of this too. Also, I just realized I have enough endurance to wield the Dragon Slayer bow now and not Fat Roll, which is one of the things I wanted to have with Artorias. At least I think. Yeah, cool. Dragon Slayer bow, yeah. Because, you know, I mean, you know how I've mentioned before that Knight Artorias' armor kind of looks like modified Silver Knight armor. So I'm going to assume that he has maybe like a Silver Knight, the bow that the Silver Knights use. I don't know. That's just my assumption. It kind of seems fitting for Artorias. I don't know why. It looks right with him. You know, just... Especially since he's just an overall badass. I could totally believe him using that. I mean, he wouldn't use Go's bow, because that's Go's bow. Don't be ridiculous. But, yeah, Silver Knight bow? I don't know. It fits to me, so... That's my theory, and I'm sticking to it. Do I have another Dark Hand? Just out of curiosity. Because if I do, I wouldn't mind having one in the right hand as well. Seems like I don't. Okay. Probably should have leveled up with the last bonfire. Oh well. Well, I do need to buy Dragon Slayer arrows, so maybe I'll do that. Yeah, I'll probably do that at the next bonfire. I'll rest at the next bonfire and warp to the Chamber of the Princess. I'll make sure I don't rest at any other bonfires, because I don't want to have to run back to this one. Which admittedly wouldn't be too big of a deal, but I'll save the time and not rest at any other bonfires after I rest at this one and warp to the Chamber of the Princess one. And I'll spend all the souls I got on buying a metric F-ton of arrows. Hopefully I can buy a lot of... What are they, like 500 each? Or were they 1,000? I hope they weren't 1,000. Or more than 1,000 even. Because then, you know, I'm buying 200 seems pretty nice, but it cost 500. Maybe they were just 200, I forget. I feel like it shouldn't take me like 100,000 souls to stock up on a few hundred of them. But I guess I'll find out soon enough. Oh right, I feel like I stopped saying in the middle of this, but the strength weapons in Dark Souls 2 seem to have a much better and more varied skill sets than just like the one swing or like repetition of a lot of the one-handed strength weapons in Dark Souls 1. Like they gave me an axe. Like the Devil Knight has an axe, and you know, so I got to use the axe. It's like a 3-swing animation to do all of them, and that's just the normal attacks. I don't know. I don't really think I used the heavy attacks that much. And they were actually pretty good. It did some pretty good damage as well. I mean, I think it seems like a lot of the heavier weapons don't do that much more damage than the lighter weapons, but they're just a bit. So like I said, they buffed. Oh wait, I didn't do the thing I just said I was going to do and go to the chamber. I get lost in thought when I'm talking about Dark Souls 2, I guess. But yeah, it seems like the strength weapons, they may swing faster. I mean, faster than they did in Dark Souls 1. I mean, obviously they still swing slower than you know, regular weapons in Dark Souls 2, but it looks like the bonus that they're gonna have for that is stun locking power. Well, not once you get your agility high enough, it seems like stun locking won't be an issue, like I said. But you know, stunning power. And I noticed they brought back the whole thing where if you sprinted somebody and hit them with a big heavy strength weapon, they can actually go flying back a bit like they could in Demon Souls, which is really cool. But it seems like the main benefits of having lighter weapons is obviously less equipment load used up. They're going to swing faster, obviously. But damage doesn't seem to be one of the big benefits of strength weapons. They don't seem to do significantly more damage than faster weapons. But like I said, they swing faster, probably to make up for that. And you know, you have their stun locking capabilities, and they seem to have a much wider swing arc as well than a lot of the. I mean, you know, they are usually bigger weapons, so that kind of makes sense. You get the additional range and what have you. But yeah, I like it. It didn't feel like they were weak though. Everything still feels nice and balanced and what that. That's the main thing. That's the main word, balance. Everything felt really balanced from... I mean, obviously I haven't played it long enough to really say that definitively, but everything, first impression-wise, everything seemed balanced. I didn't feel like some guy was like, oh, he just hit me with a big heavy weapon, now I'm stunned, OP, cheap. Yeah, 500, okay, that's what I thought it was. That's what I was hoping it was. But, yeah, I didn't have many issues depending on what weapon anyone was using. Nothing felt brokenly OP. Some people were saying that two-handing seemed OP to them. I didn't think so, because, you know, they weren't using a shield when they were using that. I was able to kind of just rush in on them, rush them down. But you do a lot of damage with those two-handed attacks. You do, like, a lot. Like, you can swing pretty quickly and do a lot of damage, because I don't think you're doubling up your damage, because you're hitting with both your weapons at the same time, but you're definitely doing a very noticeable amount of extra damage, and it's not really costing you any speed. So dual wielding might be kind of big. I mean, I like that dual wielding is actually good now. But again, it didn't feel cheap because they didn't have a shield. I mean, they could switch to a shield, sure, but essentially, if somebody was dual wielding, it was very clear when they were going to go for a parry. That was the main thing. You know, if they pull out their shield, I know a parry's coming. I would try to punish it with a backstab, which is actually pretty hard to punish a failed parry with a backstab in this one, simply because, you know, you have to get your hilt bash animation done. I was able to do it a couple times, but it seemed like the most preferable alternative was to punish parrying with shield bashes. No, not shield, not like you bash your shield, but, you know, you bash their shield with your backhand, you know, the kick replacement. That seemed like the more preferable alternative to punish them. But yeah, that's pretty big, knowing when parries are coming. Like, being able to know what your enemy planning on doing is very important. Because a lot of the strategy in Dark Souls is not necessarily just twitch reflexes, it's getting an idea of what your enemy's planning. If your enemy is parrying a lot, you'll know, okay, I can just circle around and backstab this. I mean, I'm talking about Dark Souls 1 now. If somebody's parrying a lot, you can circle around them, even when fat rolling, even at fat rolling speed, you can circle around them fast enough to just backstab them whenever they try to parry. So, you know, like I see what I'll see happen so often is somebody will just two-hand their weapon at all times, and then they'll suddenly just switch to one hand, just out of nowhere, and I'm thinking, okay, they're gonna go for a parry, and 9 times out of 10, that's the case. They go for the parry. They make it so obvious, though. So, I mean, you know, knowing what the enemy's planning is very big, and that kind of happens when somebody's dual wielding. They can't parry, which kind of leaves them in a... I think they can block, but I think it only applies to some weapons, and I think they have to switch out of their dual wield mode. There's like a dual wield mode now. When you're holding two weapons that can be dual wielded, you hold down triangle for a moment. You'll notice like the swords will start pointing up instead of down. Like he holds them in, like, naturally your character holds them in a more relaxed state, where he has the swords pointing a bit more downwards. When you're in the dual wield mode, he seems to be like gripping them a bit harder, and like they're pointing upwards a bit more. It's very noticeable. It's noticeable enough where you can approach somebody and be like, yeah, he's in dual wield mode or what that. I forget if you can block when you're in dual wield mode. I think you can when you're not in it. But, you know, people have to switch back and forth between those. Again, we're going to cheese this guy because he's stupid. Probably mainly, that's actually one of the reasons why I bought the Dragon Slayer arrows. Because even though I'm not going to be doing much damage with it because I haven't upgraded it yet, I'll be able to cheese this boss. Speaking of which, I should equip these. As well as top off my health, because why not? I'm also going to just slap on the wolf ring, because again, why not? So yeah, I like the way Dark Souls 2 is shaping up. A lot of the cheap things, well, not necessarily cheap, but the things that were just like the meta in Dark Souls 1 that I felt kind of made it a bit boring, because a lot of the things that were the meta in Dark Souls 1 were things like people trying to get pivot backstabs and stuff like that. It was... like, it's not that I feel it was broken, I just felt that it required so much of your attention that if you didn't think about it for a moment, you were gonna get just backstabbed, and I hated needing to always pay attention to that as well as everything else going on. I like to just be able to pay attention to what's going on. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's hard to forget, just because the second you do, they remind you, and eventually it just becomes like second nature, and it's not a big deal to remember. All the same, I don't like to, and I don't like that that's always an option for just about every build, you know, people doing these roll BSs and stuff like that. I think it takes away from what the combat could have been. And Dark Souls 2 seems to have much better combat, where it's more of a head-on attack style, where, you know, you react based on what they're doing instead of just, you know, trying to play mind game. Well, I mean, you still do mind games, sort of, but it's less focused on the mind games and more about, like, situational awareness and reacting, and as well as, you know, keeping track of little things in the back of your mind, like, okay, he has a shield out now, he's probably going to go for a parry because he hasn't had a shield out for the rest, you know, stuff like that. But it seems it's going to be more head-on. Like, the shield bash is actually really effective. Well, the shield bash with a big shield is effective, but you know, your kick move is actually really effective for breaking block now. And breaking block is a big deal because it lets you riposte them. So, you know, going with the head-on attack is actually useful, because if you can break their block, then they're gonna get hit with a riposte and take a bunch of damage. Oh god. Oh, come on, this boss. Not a single opening. I hate when he goes to that, just like that rotation. Just swing the hands, use the top part to hit the ground. Let me make sure I equip this ring. Use the top part to hit the ground, and then just keep sweeping the hands again. There's no opening. I might be able to squeeze in a rush if I rush in at him after he sweeps his hand and is doing that overhead thing. But I think I've done that before, and I ended up getting hit just as I was jumping down, and I got killed. And this is why I don't like Beta Chaos, and why I don't mind choosing him every single time, because he's broken. He doesn't have a pattern. He doesn't have like, you can't like approach him and be like, even dodging his hand swings is very iffy, even if you try to get the invulnerability frames, because you can get the invulnerability frames but still get pushed by the hands and as a result fall in the hole. And there's not always a way where you can like dodge out of the way. Sometimes you have to rely on those invulnerability frames. And, you know, even if you dodge it with perfect timing, that you take 0 damage with the invulnerability frames, you just get knocked in the hole anyway and die. That's what I consider a cheap death. It's one thing if there's a pattern, so you can be like, oh, well, I shouldn't have rushed in then, because I just put myself in a corner that I couldn't get out of. But no, there's no pattern. You have to just be like, okay, I think I can go in now. And then you go in, and then he swings his hand, because, I mean, you didn't know he was going to do that. He has no pattern. And then you're in a position, well, okay, I try to invulnerability frame through this, but I get knocked into a hole. And you're dead. And, I don't know, it's cheap. Even the devs said this boss fight wasn't, like, done. So, I don't know. Honestly, I wish they just made this more of, like, a... I mean, with how it is, I kind of wish they just made it more into, like, a formality fight. Kind of like how Pinwheel is so easy, but that by the time that you're supposed to fight him when you get there, you destroy him with no problem. I mean, they could have just made it so you just walk in and murder the thing, for all I care. I would have found that more preferable, just because of how stupid the current way is. Okay, let's go for it. Make a rush. Oh, God, I narrowly avoided that hand. I remember one time those, like, sort of, like, those, like, stick beard thingies or whatever that he has there. I remember one time I actually got past the hands, and then I made it up there. And as he moved his head back into place, the little stick beard things, pushed me off the thing, and I got killed, which really was so aggravating at the time. Now, I mean, now it's funny. Because, you know, time heals all wounds and makes them funny on top of that. Anyway, ooh, come on, let me get the ring on. Yes, okay, cool. I got it on just in time. More souls! We'll warp to Firelink Shrine. And that will do it for this episode. Hopefully I haven't been repeating... Also, let me move the arrows. There we go. Now I don't have them on my back. Okay, hopefully I haven't been repeating too much of, you know, the Dark Souls 2 info and what that, and just Dark Souls 2 discussion in general. Because, you know, recording different times unscripted, it's just bound to happen since I'm going, like, for hours or whatever. But, yeah, hopefully I haven't been repeating that too much. Hopefully it's been being generally entertaining. But I'll see you guys in the next episode, where we'll probably be killing Seath. Goodbye!